Today, we're looking at an aircraft that's usually kept under wraps, but it's suddenly all over the news.
Sure.
The US B-2 Spirit bomber. If you've been wondering why this plane is suddenly so important, well, you're in the right place. We're going to cut straight to the core.
Absolutely. And look, this isn't just about, a big, powerful plane. It's about very specific, unique capabilities and how they plug directly into what's happening globally, specifically the rising tensions between Israel and Iran.
Okay.
So our mission really is to unpack what makes the B-2 so suited for this moment and what it signals when it gets deployed.
So let's start there. The B-2 Spirit. What's the headline? What makes it different?
Well, the first thing is its job description. Long-range, stealth strategic bomber. Northrop Grumman built it for the Air Force. And its absolute defining feature is that ability to slip past radar. It's designed fundamentally to penetrate enemy airspace.
Okay, stealth. How does that actually work? Is it like invisible paint or something?
Not quite invisible paint, but it's clever engineering. This stealth technology, it's a mix of things. First, you've got that very distinctive shape, the flying wing. No real body, no tail fins sticking up. That itself makes it harder to spot on radar.
Reduces his signature.
Exactly. Then you add special materials, radar-absorbent materials covering the aircraft. They basically soak up radar waves instead of reflecting them back to the source. Put it all together, and you get what they call a very low observable profile. It makes it incredibly tough for even advanced radar systems to find it, let alone target it.
And it can go anywhere.
Pretty much. Its unrefueled range is huge, about 6,000 nautical miles. That's what, over 11,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
And with aerial refueling, its reach is genuinely global.
Right, so it can get there unseen, but then what?
Right.
What's the payload? Because I think that's where this story gets really interesting now.
Precisely. It can carry a hefty load, over 40,000 pounds. That includes, standard conventional bombs, smart bombs, and yes, nuclear weapons too. But here's the kicker, the thing making headlines. It is the only U.S. aircraft right now certified to carry something called the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, the MOP.
The MOP, the bunker buster. Tell us about that. Why is that specific weapon such a big deal?
Okay, so the MOP is enormous. It weighs 30,000 pounds. It's guided, so it's accurate. But the critical part isn't just the weight. It's designed specifically to punch deep underground before it explodes. We're talking reports of up to 200 feet, maybe more.
200 feet? Wow.
Yeah, so think about targets buried under layers of rock or reinforced concrete, underground command centers, weapons facilities, tunnels. The MOP is built to reach those places that are almost untouchable by anything else in the conventional arsenal.
Which brings us right to the current situation. The Israel-Iran conflict. The U.S. is involved supporting Israel's air campaign, particularly looking at Iran's nuclear program sites. Why is the B-2 the tool for this job?
Well, if you connect the dots. Many of Iran's most critical nuclear facilities, places like Fordo, Natanz, Esfahan, they aren't just on the surface. They're deliberately buried deep underground, heavily fortified, precisely to protect them from attack.
Making them perfect targets for something like the MOP.
Exactly. These facilities pose a massive challenge for standard bombs or missiles, but the B-2, carrying the MOP, that's a different story. It gives the U.S. a unique capability to credibly threaten these hardened, buried targets, a kind of surgical strike option. And remember, the stealth part, it allows the B-2 to potentially get through Iran's quite sophisticated air defenses without being detected, deliver the MOP precisely, and get out.
So, beyond the technical side, what does deploying or even just highlighting the B-2 mean strategically? What's the message?
It's a powerful signal. It's strategic deterrence in action. Having the B-2 with its stealth and the MOP, it tells adversaries, specifically Iran in this context, that even their most protected assets aren't safe. It demonstrates very clearly direct U.S. involvement and a serious commitment in this case to preventing Iran from getting nuclear weapons. It changes the risk calculation for Tehran significantly.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the B-2 Spirit combines that stealth, the long reach, and this unique bunker-busting power with the MOP. That combination makes it a really crucial tool for dealing with heavily fortified underground sites, which are increasingly part of modern conflicts.
It really does. And it leaves you with a pretty big question to think about. In today's world with more complex conflicts and countries building deeper defenses, how does having these kinds of sterilized high-tech weapons like the B-2 and the MOP actually shape the decisions made by everyone involved? What does it tell us about where warfare might be heading?